What's up, guys? Here with you with FC Wonder Kid, here with my guy, Pedro. How are you?
Hi Alex, excited to be here once again. What do you bring for me today?
This is a topic. I just want to keep people updated with the transfers, because a lot has been going on. Like Messi, we have Tielemans just happened. That for me is an underrated move. But people, before we get to it, comment your transfer of the summer that will happen and that has happened that you have loved. We will be answering all the comments. It's just good to see the engagement and you guys commenting down below. And the like button, go bold, people. But yes, any transfer for starters, Pedro, that you would like to focus on?
Man, yeah, Yuri Tielemans transfer is just crazy. And we're talking about a player that delivered the first FA Cup in Leicester history 2 years ago in 2021 with that absolute banger against Chelsea, I think. Tielemans didn't have a proper season this year. We all know it. I mean, none of the Leicester players were at the level that were expected at the beginning of the season.
Tielemans wanted to leave, you reckon? Last summer. I got that feeling, honestly.
He could have left. He could have left. With the status he had at Leicester, he could have done better this season. He could have been at a better club.
So Tielemans just confirmed for Aston Villa, and James Maddison's going to leave on a free too. Leicester are in the championship and definitely a new reality at the club now.
Exactly, and even the right back, Ricardo Pereira, he might be leaving as well.
Porto was interested. So a lot of players, will Vardy stay? I saw Vardy to leave 2 comments.
I don't think Vardy will leave, Alex. I mean, with 36 years old, end of his career, Leicester is his home. He maybe wants to put back Leicester where Leicester belongs, which is in the Premier League.
So you're mentioning wanting to leave, and this is a comment. This is a big topic for me, especially Man United. Okay, should Harry Maguire leave this transfer window? 100%. Will he leave, Pedro?
Alex, I'm not talking from Harry Maguire's perspective, but every United fan wants Harry Maguire to leave.
They should.
It's one of the highest paid players in the squad.
Captain. Maguire was the captain of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Man, and he doesn't even play as a sub now. Lindelof is picked ahead of him. And he costs £90 million. It's just crazy, Alex. You cannot have a player like that in the bench.
And Lindelof is a better player than Maguire. 100%.
The Iceman.
I think Ten Hag is making a good decision. And again, if Ten Hag manages to dispatch Maguire, that is the best decision for Man United's sake. They need to sign another midfielder, another strike. They need a striker, 100%. And Harry Kane, though. I go for Maguire to Harry Kane. And before, last comment with Maguire, it's embarrassing a former Man United captain refuses to leave when the manager doesn't accept that he stays.
Yeah, Maguire should have been the better man at this situation.
And if he continues to be called up for England, he should leave Man United because he isn't going to start next season. And Southgate must be warning Maguire. He must. So Tottenham would.
Of course, if he's not getting the minutes, he might not be called up. It doesn't matter your status, man. If you're not getting those minutes, you won't make the team.
100%. So people, drop down below comments about Man United transfers.
It's really interesting because I've seen some rumors regarding Harry Maguire heading to Tottenham, guys. And wouldn't this be the most Spursy move ever, man?
Spursy move.
I mean, the most Levi move ever.
And in the same window, Harry Kane leaving.
Yeah, but the thing is, he might be involved in Harry Kane's deal. Don't you reckon?
So you think if Harry Kane goes to Man United, Maguire is involved in a deal somehow?
I think so. That's why he has been linked to Tottenham.
It would be sad. If Tottenham would sell and improve Man United, and they would make their own team worse by bringing in Maguire, from my point of view. That would be extremely sad if they do that. Harry Kane, big topic. Big number 9.
Who would Harry Maguire bench at Tottenham?
He shouldn't start. He shouldn't go to Tottenham. But maybe he could have a rejuvenation of his career. But I think I just don't have big hopes. I don't have big hopes because Maguire isn't showing the mentality of going to a new reality. He's not accepting it. So that's why I'm a bit down about that all. The Maguire topic. But Harry Kane. I want to say, Harry Kane, please become a Galactico like Jude Bellingham did. Brahim Diaz confirmed. That was a big move. Fran Garcia and the number 7, the number 9, and the number 11 jerseys are available. And when they are, Real Madrid goes bold.
Yeah, Alex, and the wage gap that Benzema left at Real Madrid has to be filled with another superstar.
And Hazard.
Why not Harry Kane?
And Hazard.
Exactly.
Hazard,
who was on a
23
superstar contract as well, even though he was not playing.
23 million a year. 23. Mariano Diaz, Hazard, Benzema, all these contracts are now gone. Ooh,
And
who would
Alex,
you get?
Even Brahim Diaz is returning to Real Madrid, and I'm hoping he gets those minutes because he deserves it. Okay, he did some pretty decent seasons at AC Milan, and I really do think he's gonna fill the void left by Eden Hazard.
I think it will be seen as a good transfer window by Real Madrid this time. But who would you think? Who is the best Benzema replacement in your opinion, Pedro?
For Real Madrid, I would go for Harry Kane, definitely. But if they aren't able to make it, I would go for Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, that would be bold.
And I don't know, haven't we heard any rumors about Osimhen this summer yet?
That means De Laurentiis and Napoli have locked him up another season. Look, if Napoli are gonna do something unbelievable in the Champions League in the following years,
But who's gonna leave Napoli though? They need to sell someone.
Min-Jae Kim. I think Min-Jae Kim's gonna leave Napoli.
Where to?
United is one of the favorites, and I see a lot of that United gossip.
So you would bench either Lisandro Martinez or Varane?
I would play with the 3. I would
Three
play
centre-back
with the
system.
3 center back and Lindelof being an option.
And Diogo Dalot at the right.
I think they will sign a right back, a right wing back
Man,
too.
I don't know why. Like, I didn't see what was the sense in Ten Hag's head to put Van Bissaka playing, starting in the FA Cup.
He
final.
didn't have options. Pedro.
Man, he had Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot was available to play on match.
I understand. But maybe that was his competition. Don't you reckon?
I don't think if you have the ability to conquer 2 cups in a season where Man City is dominating in this era, or Man United, you have to play your best players. I don't mind. And Van Bissaka just doesn't have what it takes to play at Man United. I'm sorry, he doesn't.
Who would you get to replace Wan Bissaka at Man United? I would get Jeremy Frimpong for Bayer Leverkusen.
That would be a good move, man.
Youngster will start always for the Netherlands. Great player, fast, knows how to defend, great awareness. If you see Bayer Leverkusen play, it's from the right side with Jeremy Frimpong attacking with Moussa Diaby in front of him.
And if United does move to that 3 centre-back system, it will be the perfect fit for him.
So, let's see. But the number 9 talk we were mentioning, Harry Kane and Real Madrid. So, a perfect window. I would finally give the Vinicius Junior the number 7 jersey. He deserves the left wing back to be locked in. Rodrigo could be changing his position to striker. Some reports are saying that. If that happens, do you think Mbappe will inevitably go to the right wing back, the right wing?
I don't reckon Mbappe is going to leave PSG. Listen, PSG already gave up Messi. Probably is going to give up Neymar.
I think they will.
Would they like to give up their 3rd and only superstar left?
No.
I mean, not only superstar, but out of those 3
100%.
stratospheric talents.
True.
I mean, I'm not seeing Mbappe leaving any sooner. And who knows? He might even get an even updated contract after this.
Ooh,
I mean, he might say, man, what am I doing here? Messi left, Neymar left. What are my chances of winning the Champions League now?
Look,
I need to get those bags to stay here. Otherwise, I'm gonna leave, man. I have Real Madrid paying me those bags.
Do you think it's possible that Mbappe gets a Ballon d'Or at PSG?
No way.
He has to win the Champions League if
No
so.
way. I think if Mbappe leaves to Real Madrid immediately, he will straight away win the Ballon d'Or in his first season.
I think that can be a possibility. Next to Vinicius, that bold midfield with Jude, Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouameni.
You just don't have the credibility playing in Ligue 1. And it's not because Ligue 1 is weak, it's very competitive, but from the 2nd place down. Like, PSG is just one notch ahead of everyone.
But wait. This season was special though. Lens finished 1 point below PSG. And this brings another topic in transfers. Manager of PSG. A lot of reports suggesting Julian Nagelsmann. I still think he might be the favorite, but if PSG are going to win a Champions League, it ain't with Galtier.
You know who would I get to PSG?
Who would you get?
If I were PSG, I would go for Leonardo Jardim. Listen, he's a manager. He has already won the Liga, so he has experience playing in it.
With Mbappe.
I think he was the one who took Monaco to the semis in the Champions League. So
did.
he has that Champions League pedigree. He's still young. Liga 1 pedigree. PSG, what are you doing, man? Go for Leonardo Jardim. It's the obvious choice for me. Nobody's talking about it. I don't know why.
That's bold.
And with Luis Campos there, I mean, why not? Just make it happen, man.
Leonardo Jardim was with Luis Campos too at Monaco.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. And I think he's in Saudi Arabia though, Leonardo Jardim. So that would be a move too. But that's an interesting option. I still think Nagelsmann is the favorite. But mentioning that Monaco team with PSG, there is a report that says Bernardo Silva, after the Champions League final, is going to PSG. Will that be a move that closes him up to win the Champions League, Pedro?
I mean, if you think that he's replacing Messi, then I don't know, man. But the thing is, Bernardo Silva brings much more to the game overall than Messi nowadays in terms of...
Hey, wait.
Wait a minute. Bernardo Silva helps the team defensively. He helps the tempo. He helps the transitions. So, I mean, he's just not an offensive player. He dictates the tempo of the game. So, Bernardo Silva will be key for PSG in organizing the team as a whole. You know what I mean?
So, do you think it would be positive if PSG lock it in with Bernardo Silva?
And when we're talking about getting the likes of Bernardo Silva, Manuel Ugarte, strengthening that midfield, it will be really important for PSG. And I think it's what's missing there, a good and solid midfield, you know, you reckon? And
Gnat Sanch leaving.
Yeah, unfortunately, he hasn't been up to what was expected of him once he won the award of Golden Boy. But, I mean, he still can do better than he's doing.
He's got talent.
The injuries are putting a delay on what he can show, I think, and he will prove everyone wrong. I think he will do something special in the coming seasons. If he does put in the work, preparing his preseason.
He needs the right team too, Pedro. And at Lille, he was starting to show glimpses, but at Benfica, we all remember, that was glorious. And in the Euros for Portugal, Gnat Sanch was the golden boy.
That goal against Poland.
At least that month, Gnat Sanch. It's such a disappointment to see. Yeah. But he was called up for Portugal. He was called up for Portugal for the first time in a couple of months too. He wasn't called up for the World Cup.
Wants to see what he has to deliver to the national team.
More than Pot. Pot that might be getting a move.
Has the status that Pot doesn't. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
So, mentioning PSG too, Lucas Hernandez. Lucas Hernandez might be moving to PSG. Milan Skriniar, a lot of reports say those are two great center backs. Plus, Lucas can play fullback too if PSG get that done. That would be positive. But I want to mention, if we're mentioning fullbacks, transfer window. And if you're enjoying, don't forget to like this video here, the transfers video, and comment your favorite transfer. I want to say, Man City won't be playing with João Cancelo in the future. Who do you reckon should get João Cancelo to play at right back or even at left back? And he can play both.
There are some reports that state that João Cancelo is set to sign for Arsenal. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think João Cancelo fits the Arteta mentality.
Should he go to Barca?
I think it would be the best move for him.
I reckon too.
But still, he would need to grow a lot personally and on his attitude. He needs to work on his attitude because he left Man City due to his attitude. He went to Bayern thinking he was the best player in that squad, and he got the same problem at Bayern. He didn't play as much as he would like to.
The best fullback was Fonzie. Is Fonzie at Bayern?
Cancelo needs to change his attitude. Man, you know why why Cancelo left Man City? You know the story?
Well, the reported story was an argument with Guardiola.
Yeah, it is reported that when Guardiola was speaking to the whole team, he was with his AirPods on, not listening to what Guardiola was saying. And that is not the mentality you want at a winning club.
100%.
That's not even healthy for the squad.
But the reports say the buy option of Bayern Munich was 70 million. I'm going to warn everyone. I'm not saying João Cancelo is not a 70 million fullback when he's in form. But Man City, everybody knows they want to sell him. They're not going to sell for that price. I think it'll be 50 below. 50 million below. And I sure hope João Cancelo, por favor, go to Barca. And Barca will definitely be ready for the Champions League with this defense of Alejandro Balde at the left back, Conde, Ronald Araújo, and João Cancelo at right back with the option of Christensen. I ain't forgetting Christensen was one of the best best transfers that Barca has done the last few years. Left-footed center back with Ronald Araújo, but Conde is Conde, okay? And at goalkeeper, Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen is one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Equal defense right there, my friend.
And so another topic that I want to mention with this defense that I would love, Kimmich. Kimmich, will Joshua Kimmich leave Bayern Munich in your opinion, Pedro?
Alex, the thing is, Barca are desperate for a defensive midfielder after Sergio Busquets announced his retirement.
Yes.
I mean, it will be just a perfect fit for Joshua Kimmich. And if he wants a move in his career, Barca is a solid choice. With Xavi Ball, I think Kimmich would be the center of attention at that midfield, and he will be a key player for Barca to clinch, maybe, the hopes of the Champions League title.
If Kimmich plays with Pedri, Gavi, Gundogan reports stating, Lewandowski former teammate, and Barca please solve the wingers. The wingers issue, if it's solved too, we're talking here about a greatest team, like to compete with Real Madrid too.
You reckon Ansu Fati will stay?
That's a big doubt I have. I think Ferran Torres is not going to stay short term, and I think Rafinha maybe long term is not going to stay.
Rafinha will stay. Rafinha will stay.
I think
he's still young. It was not a bad debut season. 10 goals, 10 assists. Not that bad, okay.
So if it was a start bench cell, let's say, with Rafinha, Ferran Torres and Fati, you start Rafinha.
At the moment, I would start Rafinha. I would bench Ferran
Fati.
Torres, and I would sell Fati.
Hey, yeah, Fati because of injuries, okay?
Yeah, of course
we
not.
both agree with that. But so Kimmich, we both agree. If he goes to Barca, and mentioning Barca, the thumbnail might be this too, okay? So this is the big topic. Like this video before we talk about this, and leave your opinions
Oh my God.
too.
You're gonna talk about what I'm thinking you're
It
gonna
has
talk
to
about.
be Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi is going to Inter Miami. No doubt. No doubt. Lionel Messi to Inter Miami is the most significant transfer in North American history, and maybe one of the biggest ever in terms of influence with
Shocking. It
media.
was shocking.
Lionel Messi going to the MLS is going to catapult football people in America.
And no, guys, there is no AC Miami. Before you ask,
What AC Miami?
You heard that?
Whoa, what's AC Miami?
Yeah, a new fan just asked. Okay, I'm a new fan here. Who are we? Is there an AC Miami? Because Inter Miami.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't really a popular tweet, man.
I think-
You should be on top of those stuff.
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
man. But I want to say,
Alex,
the most significant transfer ever in MLS history is Lionel Messi. And the second most important transfer in MLS history is David Beckham. Why? Because it led to the most important Lionel Messi. If Beckham hadn't gone to LA Galaxy, this wouldn't have happened.
Alex, huge blow for Barca fans. Messi not going there. It was all set. Everybody thought the prodigal son was gonna return home, but I mean, nobody was expecting him to go to MLS as a current world champion.
True.
And probably the Ballon d'Or winner this year.
Man, if
Are we
Messi,
gonna see a Ballon d'Or winner playing at the MLS?
that is
That
mad.
is crazy. Have you thought about it yet?
And two, another that I just can't imagine
That
that.
would be historical. And the thing is, Messi was already influential almost everywhere in the world, but America.
He was
Northern
maybe
America.
less.
Yeah, but I
Maybe
think
less.
Ronaldo, due to Nike, was more popular in America than Messi. But now things are gonna shift.
Adidas are the biggest winners in all this.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi goes to Inter Miami. He's going to be a stakeholder of the club. He gets a huge portion of the Apple TV subscribers and the Adidas
Man,
jerseys.
those pay-per-view fees, man. They're gonna bring
And the ticket
Messi's gonna bring
sales.
mad cash in.
Inter Miami is going to be more talked in Miami maybe than the Miami Heat. Why? Because the beautiful game of football is the greatest game in the world. Now the American people are understanding the influence of football. It's World Cup of 2026 too. This is a power move by the States.
Yeah, and Alex, crazy story actually regarding David Beckham. When he moved to LA Galaxy, like 15 years back probably, or
Yes.
10, I don't know. He had in his contract a clause that allowed him to create a club for $50 million.
15.
15?
I think it was not 50.
Okay, but even though nowadays to create a club in the MLS, you have to pay above $200 million.
I think it's 5 to 8.
That just shows the business mentality David Beckham has, okay? He was seeing ahead. He thought, okay, football is growing in America. It's going to grow in the next 30 years. I have a chance here to do something that I won't regret for the rest of my life. Creating a new club, that was just a bargain for him.
David Beckham bought Inter Miami, all value 25 million.
Bargain, man.
Right now, it's 600 million. And in 2 years' time, it'll be $1 billion.
Yeah, just if you want to create a club from scratch, man.
Miami can create a legacy with Lionel Messi. Messi can bring Palacios, can bring Di Maria, can bring Luis Suarez, can bring Busquets. Imagine the big reunion. The salary cap has to change too in the MLS, and Messi maybe is going to be the reason why they change too. Oh my days, but that was a big topic. Leave your thoughts about Messi down below, and a like. We want to see those likes going bold. And we got to mention Portugal too. The biggest transfer ever in Portuguese history, Orkun Kökçü, goes to Benfica. What a day it was for Benfica. They extend Otamendi another season, and they get one of the best midfielders outside of the top 5 leagues with Orkun Kökçü. What a baller.
Alex,
25 million plus 5 in variables.
It is crazy how a player moves from the champion in the 6th tier league, 6th top league, to the champions in the 7th top league
Benfica.
for 30 million. So he left the champion at the Eredivisie, Feyenoord, to go to champion in Portugal, Benfica. So what does that say about these two leagues?
Feyenoord was in Europa League. Benfica was in Champions League.
What
Plus they sell Enzo
but
for 120
Feyenoord is going
million.
to the Champions League this year.
They are going to the Champions
but
League.
What does this say about the two leagues? Is Portuguese league above Eredivisie?
I think mid-table teams in Eredivisie are much better than mid-table teams in Portugal, unfortunately.
But you reckon top teams in Portugal are superior to top teams in Eredivisie?
Benfica and Porto, 100%. Porto's won a Champions League, and Benfica, the maiden Seychelles, Roger Schmidt move is such a power move by Benfica. Enzo was sold after like 5-6 months for the fee that he was most expensive transfer ever in Premier League history, and not anyone does that.
So
Roger Schmidt
you
does
wouldn't
that too.
bring the Sporting into that mix?
Look, Ruben Amorim needs guarantees in this transfer window. He needs a proper striker, because Tiago Tomás, I think, got 13 to 15 million for Sporting too.
Yeah, he's set to leave.
And Sporting cannot accept another season being behind Braga. They cannot, especially with Ruben Amorim as manager.
It was just one season. But yeah, I totally agree with you. In the last 10 seasons, Sporting stayed behind Braga like 2 times. It's not that critical.
But if it happens again, back to back, it is a bit critical.
Yeah, it is. It is because we have seen the growth that Braga has been going through the last 20 years, and it's probably the club in the world that has grown the most. Braga in the last 20 years, I reckon.
No.
I reckon it is.
There's clubs that grown.
You
Look
have
at Chelsea
Braga.
and City, mate.
Braga was
Chelsea and
mid-table
City.
club 20 years ago.
Chelsea
in
and
Portugal.
City.
Nowadays, they have reached a Europa League final.
Chelsea and City.
They are in the champion. They have been in the Champions League a couple of times. Okay, but come on,
Bournemouth was 3rd division.
It's different because
Bournemouth 3rd division.
Braga is owned by the fans. It's
now Saudi has bought 23%
but not the majority.
of PSG.
Not the majority.
23.
So you're comparing clubs that are owned by investors with a club that is owned by.
Look,
by
I'm going to
fans.
agree with you that Braga, in the space of the last 10 years, have solidified themselves as the 4th biggest team in Portugal. They managed to keep Ricardo Horta. They sell 20 milhões David Carmo. They sell 30 million Vitinha. Great moves. And they're in the Champions League now too. With Artur Jorge, one of the best seasons ever. I agree with you. They've improved a lot. But the best, like Man City, like Chelsea, like from what they were to what they're now, that was the biggest improvements, mate.
Okay, let's say in Portugal then, and we both call it a day.
So, but do you have any last? And Roger Schmidt, I just want to say to Roger Schmidt, thank you for trusting Seychelles. 4 players that Roger Schmidt has improved so much is Gonçalo Ramos, Florentino Luís, António Silva, and João Neves. All 4 are ballers right now.
Yeah, and I have something else to add. I mean, for me, Gonçalo Ramos will be the hot shot this summer. You don't have many quality strikers left in the market.
True.
And for sure, United, if they don't get a hold of Harry Kane, for sure, Man United, you're going for Gonçalo Ramos. There's no doubt in that. Because if someone gets Gonçalo Ramos, they're going to get a modern-day striker mixed with an old-day striker who can bang in goals from everywhere inside the box.
Inside the box.
Yeah, but that's what you want from a striker, right?
True.
But yeah, then again, mentioning Kökçü is a player, he's an all-rounder, man.
True.
And I've mentioned him before in our talks. He's I think he had quality to go to the Premier League. And it's a huge shining from Benfica, because Benfica is getting a player that might be as influential. Listen, guys, this is a bold statement. Kökçü has the ability to be as influential as Enzo Fernandes. Okay? And he costs 30 million, and Enzo Fernandes costs 120.
And his release clause is 150 million.
And we might see him going to the Premier League for values closing that amount in the future.
That can happen.
That can happen. If
not a 150, but like 100.
If he has the influence at Benfica that we are expecting, and he bangs in those assists and goals that he's shown he can do at the Eredivisie, because he was one of the top scorers and assisters as well.
I think he had no.
I think he was.
I think he had 5 assists in Eredivisie and 12 goals. Good numbers.
But the top scorer didn't have more than 20 goals, I think. Wasn't it?
Xavi Simons?
Wasn't it Xavi Simons?
I think Santiago Jimenez might have been the top scorer, or should have been.
I'm not sure about
another ball or two of Feyenoord.
But
But Xavi Simons had 19 goals and 8 assists. That shows the greatness of a kid that's 20 right now. Another talk to move, maybe.
And Kökçü, nowadays, it's the main man at Turkey, leading the Turkish national team in the future.
Arda Güler.
But Benfica has got in their hands a potential new star, okay?
True.
For 30 million only. And it frightens me, because as a Sporting fan, I didn't like to see it, but it was a great move. And when you see players such as Enzo Fernandez leaving for 120 million, man, you just know Benfica's putting in those deals, man.
True,
Great deals from
100%.
Benfica.
100%. And we're mentioning Benfica and all this. I want to give a shout out to Feyenoord too. Feyenoord in the past few years have sold Orsens. They're going to sell Kökçü, Santiago Jimenez. They've sold Malacia, Sinisterra, Senesi. Senesi's underrated
and
too.
They still maintain their level. Good
Exactly.
From Feyenoord.
And the top manager with Arne Slot too. So a lot of good deals done by this team, and big shout out to them by winning too at Eredivisie. That has happened too. Is there, like mentioning, where if you're here in Sinal, put some comments of transfers that you want to see. But you have any last transfer we want to mention here?
I mean, there's new Spurs coach Postecoglou from Celtic.
Oh yes,
what are your thoughts on him?
Look, I think he's going to play a lot on fullbacks. I think Pedro Porro is going to improve a lot, but I still have doubts how Tottenham's going to look after Harry Kane. They can look as a worse team, then they can go below top 6 if this doesn't work out.
Do you think Postecoglou, this is, if I'm mentioning his name right, do you think he's going for Jota? He's going to target Jota to Tottenham?
Jota
from Celtic?
who? Jota, oh.
That would be a bold move.
That would cost him like 20, 30.
He has the ability to play in the Prem, I reckon. Not as a starter for Tottenham yet, but he could make an impact.
Look, if Son plays a different position, Kane might be leaving.
What about Richarlison? Do you think Richarlison will leave?
I think, look, he wasn't good. He wasn't happy at Tottenham. He might be wanting to leave, but another chance. Let's see, another season. But people, put down below your thoughts about Tottenham. What do you believe will happen at Tottenham and in their Premier League too? Top 4 even comments I want to see.
That's crazy. But yeah, I've seen some reports even suggesting that Ancelotti is trying to bring him to Real Madrid.
Oh, Firmino, please. Please, I'd pick Firmino ahead of Richarlison.
But Richarlison is younger, man.
True, but free agent, opportunity too, can adapt a lot to a lot of positions.
And we're talking about a striker that not a long time ago was starting for Brazil, Richarlison.
And was playing with Ancelotti at Everton. So I think that would be an interesting move. But again, I'm a bit... But tell us down below your thoughts about the transfer and go bold in the comment section. And thank you for listening until now. Thank you for going bold.
Go bold, guys.